Hello, I'm Gloria Makarenko. Welcome to the first program of our new year. Here we go. This is Our Vancouver. Coming up, tourism operators are hoping for a big comeback in 2021. And colder waters mean tastier oysters. We'll check in with Chef Roger Ma. But first, reaching seniors who still live at home to encourage them to get out and move.
I was doing less and less and feeling worse and worse about it.
It happened over a period of years. It was just really hard for me to think about even going downstairs to the gym in the building. I had actually tried doing some things from videos, video exercise, but I just could never keep it up.
I don't know how to explain it, but one day realizing that I just felt like I had to get out. You can only read so many books, you can only watch so much TV.
You are watching participants in the Choose to Move program. It's run through Mount Pleasant Neighborhood House, and it encourages older adults to stay active and keep connected. The Choose to Move program is still running online. And Omnia El-Shayeb is the activity coach and seniors programmer at Mount Pleasant Neighborhood House. Omnia, hello there, welcome.
Hi, Gloria. Thank you so much for inviting me today, and I'm looking forward to meet all of you. And Happy New Year to everyone.
And a very happy new year to you too, and a new year with a lot of activity. You know, we just heard from two seniors in the video about how they realized just how inactive they became. So what do you see? How common is this?
Yes. So what has been happening after the pandemic, we have been noticing from a lot of seniors that they have become self-isolated and they are not able to connect to other seniors in the community as before, and they became way less active compared to before. So that's why Choose to Move was a great opportunity for them to get connected again and set their goals to be physically active.
So what's the pattern, or is there a pattern? You know, some of the reasons that seniors do find themselves maybe housebound and out of shape.
So what I would say, Choose to Move is a free wellness program. It is provided to all seniors across British Columbia for free. And it's basically an initiative from the Active Aging Society to support and motivate the seniors to become more physically active and socially connected. And it's basically it's a 3-month project. It's consisting of 6 group virtual meeting over Zoom platform, and check-in and one-on-one consultation, and check-in by phone calls from the activity coach, which is me, and activity buddy, which is themselves.
Right, and what are some of the activities or exercises that are in the program?
Great question. Thank you so much, Gloria. So what's really amazing in the Choose to Move is the activity is chosen by the seniors themselves. Like, it's not a group activity that we implemented from ourselves. They choose what kind of activity they want to. So some, they choose the walking, some they choose the line dance, some they choose the yoga, gardening.
Oh, I see. No burpees. If my input is welcome, I say no burpees. That's all I ask for. Okay. All the rest of it is open, though. So, I mean, how do you help them set, realistic goals?
Yeah. So the Choose to Move participants, they learn how to make their goals, to set their goals and make them SMART. So SMART goal, it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. So I would say, like many people, they have a New Year resolution. And one of this resolution, I want to become more active this year. So this is a vague goal. It's not, so let's make it SMART. So I would say I'm going, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to walk for 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week after dinner. and I will keep a log of my walks. So this, we changed it into a SMART goal. It is now specific, the specific activity, which is walking, and it is time-based. It is, we keep record of the log, and it is measurable.
Well, it's measurable, but I'm interested in, I mean, we could all do that on our own, but what difference do you think, the coaching and I guess the online check-ins with other seniors, how does that help?
Yes. So we meet every other week over Zoom. There is a group meeting. They encourage each other and we talk about different health topics and we revisit the goal. So it's an opportunity for them to connect and see each other doing what and encourage and support each other. And also between those weeks, I check in by them through the phone and see what are the challenges they have been or any concerns and any successes we can celebrate with them.
Well, the program is obviously working. I mean, it's been running for the last 4, going on 5 years. What have you seen? What impact has it made?
So the program, exactly, it has been running since 2016, but recently it moved online. And this is because of the COVID. As we all noticed after the pandemic, there are a lot of changes happening to our seniors. They're not able to come and attend many programs and workshops as before, and that definitely affected their physical activity, their social connectedness. They affect even their health. Like I can remember, I can think of Cynthia. She's 90 years old. She was able to come to Mount Pleasant neighborhood house before the pandemic. Since COVID-19 hit, she was totally self-isolated at home, and that affected her health, has been deteriorating and affected her nutrition. After joining the Choose to Move, she was able to connect to other seniors again in the community. And she's now doing the line dance 10 minutes a day. And that was her goal that she chose.
I love that. So the social connection as important as the physical exercise itself. Omnia, a very happy new year to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much and having me, and happy new year to everyone. And I would say if you are 65 years and old, please visit the website choosetomove.ca or the Facebook page and sign up on the website, and you will get connected with the activity coach in your location. Happy New Year, and I hope everyone set SMART goal for the New Year resolution.
So how are you feeling about saying goodbye to 2020?
I'm very relieved to be saying goodbye to 2020. Very happy and glad to be connecting with nature, because I think if one thing COVID has done for us is reminded us how important and safe it is to be in nature during uncertain times.
All right, it's time for one of our favorite features. This is where we get to showcase a number of the photographs that have been sent in by you, our audience. Thank you. Thank you first to Faribor's Alga Band, captured the mist and sunset in Pitt Meadows. Wow, the colors are so amazing. Thank you very much. And Cindy Bremner has been taking in the gorgeous sunsets in her home city of Kamloops. So lovely. Thank you. And here's something you don't see every day. Jason Rood wore his business suit to celebrate his 30th year of participating in Vancouver's Polar Bears swim. Congratulations. Hope you went directly to the dry cleaners after that dip, Jason. Thanks very much for sharing. And Happy New Year to you all. And do send us more. Get out there with your cameras and just email your favorite photographs to us at bcphotos@cbc.ca. bcphotos@cbc.ca. Now, still on the subject of the polar bear swim, the event looked a little bit different this pandemic year. There was no large gathering of people at English Bay, but George Pajari found a new way to mark the tradition, and so we posted it to CBC Vancouver's Facebook page.
Okay, Vancouver, 1, 2, 3.
Gonna wash off 2020 and bring in 2021 with fearlessness.
With a lot of social distance, as you can see, we're only here.
Here are your instructions for Polar Bear Swim 2021. You need a bucket, a large bucket, or a bathtub, or a kiddie pool.
Yes. Whoa.
2. Water. Ice. This is a Polar Bear Swim.
7 degrees Celsius is the recommended temperature. It's cold, but it's a good thing to do.
In you go, Jess. Quick. God. Oh, shit. Now I'm gonna have to do it.
Fully dressed Scotsman, well, not fully dressed because I'm a real Scotsman, in the bath with a BC flag, BC Lions hat. Today I was supposed to be in Vancouver. I was supposed to be celebrating New Year, British Columbia, Canada. Obviously we can't do that.
The other optional ingredient, polar bears. I like to use 2, some 1, some larger ones. 2 polar bears.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Hope to see you bobbing about in English Bay this time next year. Bye-bye.
And that's the Polar Bear Swim 2021.
Wow, thank you, George, for being so playful, even during a pandemic. It's so wonderful, refreshing to see. Now, speaking of playing, do you know anyone who plays Among Us? The video game dominated 2020. It was first introduced back in 2018, but it really took off as we locked down. But will Among Us be among us for that much longer? CBC Kids News contributor Elijah Sandiford investigates.
It has that kind of like intense adrenaline to it of, oh my God, the lies, the deceit, the drama.
Among Us is one of those situations where you could be foul to your friends, but at the end of the game, you're still friends.
If you've been keeping up with gaming news lately, then you've definitely heard of Among Us. The number of players has jumped from a few hundred back in 2018 to 500,000 players on Steam this September. And that's not even talking about the number of mobile players. But how did a game that's more than 2 years old only rise in popularity this year? And will it last? Or will Among Us be voted out in the next round? So I talked to 2 experts to get their view on whether Among Us will be among us for that much longer. Let the gaming investigation begin. Why do you think Among Us only blew up recently?
You've got people that have been at home since, I guess, early March 2020, and we were having fun with the Animal Crossing, the cutesy games, the let's hang out, let's fish together. But now people are a little bit bored. They're looking for a different kind of experience, maybe a cheaper experience and maybe a backstabby experience. So here's a game that on some platforms is free, or on Steam, for example, it's $5.64, low barrier to entry, where I can play with my friends and I can have a treacherous time like backstabbing, lying, doing all this stuff, and at the end of it, we're still friends? Come on.
Do you think Among Us is one of the top games right now, like battling Fortnite or Call of Duty?
I don't think that it's necessarily toppling Fortnite or Call of Duty, but it is bringing, I would argue, casual and maybe hesitant gamers into the fold, which is why you're seeing the huge surge of numbers.
Okay, so we've heard from a video game professor, but what does a casual gamer think of Among Us? So you're an avid Among Us player. You probably played the game about a few dozen times. Yes, what are your thoughts on the game?
I really enjoy it. It is so much fun. It's a perfect mix of friendship breaking games, as some people may say, but also friendship building.
Coronavirus might have had a play in Among Us growing so fast and being so popular. Do you think that is mainly one of the reasons why it became so popular?
I definitely think so, yeah. The fact that you can actually like talk to your friends while playing it really brought people together. because it's an online game that you can play and socialize with your friends at the same time. So you can do all these fun little puzzles, find out who your imposter friend is while also asking them like, hey, how's your day? How have you been?
2021. Do you think you're still going to be playing the game by then?
Even if the hype may die down or my friends might not want to play it anymore, it's a good way of just like, you're chilling around, you're a little bored, pull out your phone, hey, you want to play?
Not gonna lie, we make a pretty good team. We gathered quite a lot of information on whether Among Us will last or not. I'm gonna call this mission a success and leave the rest up to you. For CBC Kids News, I'm Elijah Sandyford. Game over.
Coming up, Hawaii's infamous Kilauea volcano has begun spewing lava again. Johanna Wagstaff will be here to show us how that is changing the landscape of the Big Island.
Volcanic gas, rock fall explosions, elevated levels of sulfur dioxide, all hazards right now at the summit of Kilauea. Luckily, the park has been closed for years now, but this is the most action that the Big Island has seen since 2018, after 7 months of eruptions and multiple fissures that opened up across roads and neighborhoods, led to 700 destroyed homes. And then just as quickly as it had ramped up, the active volcano went silent until now. On December 20th, 2020, 2 fissures opened up, feeding the caldera below with lava. A week later, 1 fissure shut off, but the lava lake continues to grow. Officials aren't concerned about a repeat event yet. The situation is classified as a watch event. USGS will be watching for clues and signs of a bigger eruption. The rough estimate at current rates would put the lava lake at the top of the caldera sometime this winter. But again, even if it does spill its banks, it's not likely to be a repeat scenario when the lava made it all the way down through neighborhoods into the ocean. USGS will be watching for earthquakes, which helps tell us the movement of the magma below ground. But so far, even though seismicity has remained elevated, it is stable with just a few minor earthquakes. As we head into the start of 2021, though, with an erupting volcano, for many residents of the Big Island, this is actually the normal to see lava, at least from a distance, on the top of Kilauea. And now, you're Science Smart. If you have a science question on your mind, send me a tweet, and I'll try to get it answered.
You know, there's one huge benefit to living in an area that has cool ocean waters, because that is when oysters taste their best. Roger Ma is executive chef at Boulevard Kitchen and Oyster Bar and the winner of the Canadian Culinary Championship in 2020. Hello, Roger, and congratulations again.
Hi, Gloria. Thank you.
So nice to see you. So where do you source your oysters?
So, here at Boulevard, we like to really kind of focus, like you're talking about, our own backyard. So we like to really feature locally produced oysters coming from Vancouver Island, the Sunshine Coast, and then, a couple from Washington State as well, just because, in close proximity, the waters are very similar, and also, the freshness is always going to be where we want them.
Okay, can you take us through what you've got laid out in front of you there, just some of the differences? Can we get your camera to move on in on those?
Absolutely. So I'll start off over here. So we have Kushi Oysters. I think, this has been pretty a big name here in BC. Everyone knows Kushi Oysters, oyster lovers' favorite. They're a small variety. They've been tumbled mechanically a lot, so it has that really nice deep cup. These are coming from Bain Sound on Vancouver Island. We also have here a beach variety. So these are Fanny Bay Beach, also coming from Bain Sound. So these are just kind of left to grow on the beach. They're not really touched by human hands too much. So this is like a really more natural, larger variety of oyster for those people who love like a nice meaty oyster. And then moving over here, we have Little Wing. So Little Wing's coming from Desolation Sound. That's, in the Sunshine Coast. So these ones are a nice smaller variety. We usually use these for happy hour because they're nice and easy to shuck. And then here, these are actually my personal favorite. These guys right here, these are the Sunseeker oysters, also coming from Desolation Sound on the Vancouver, Sunshine Coast. These are cool because they're allowed to kind of tumble naturally in the water, so they kind of float them in trays in the ocean, and the waves kind of naturally give it that nice kind of shape that you can see here. Nice little deep cup. They're really sweet and plump. And then finally, we have talking about East Coast oysters, so something really cool that Fanny Bay does, or Taylor Shellfish. They also make this oyster called the Totten Virginica. So Virginica is a variety brought over from the East Coast. It's in Massachusetts, I believe, where they originate from, and it's actually the Taylor family who's been out here on the West Coast for years. The original great-grandfather came out, tried to bring these over on a train and try to raise them on the West Coast, but it didn't work out. So 20 years ago, they tried to do that again, and they've been successful to have an East Coast variety in Totten Inlet in Washington State.
Okay, well, to get at all that goodness, you need the right technique. Just tell us, take us through what you're doing there with the shucking.
Sure. So I'm going to shuck this. Usually you want to make sure your oysters are fresh, number one. You want to give them the smell. They smell like the ocean. And you always see back here, there's going to be a little inlet right there. Usually I take my shucker and just kind of apply a bit of pressure. And then you'll kind of just want to twist and pop. So you kind of hear that little snap right there. So that bottom part just opens up. You take your oyster knife and you want to just really kind of have a good grip and run it along the top of the oyster so it opens up clean like that. So you're left with this beautiful meat right there. And this is a very clear. You can see how pristine it looks. You also really want to release the oyster, the little abductor muscle on the bottom, to always give it a swipe. And here we like to just kind of flip it over on its side right here just to make sure that there's no debris. And then one final check, give it a smell. Smells like the seawater, ocean, sweet.
Okay. No, I'm curious about the smell test there. How can you tell if you get a bad one? Is it pretty evident on your nose right away?
You can tell once you get a bad oyster, even in a bag. You can single it out pretty quick. It's not a very pleasant smell, no.
Okay, so just wait, smell for that sort of fresh ocean scent. Is that it?
Exactly. It shouldn't really smell like anything at all. It just smells like sweet ocean, pretty much.
Okay, so I mean, there's a variety of sauces you can pair your oysters with. I hear that you make a great mignonette. Can you show us that one?
Exactly. So we have a mignonette here. This is our mignonette that we make at the restaurant. It's red wine vinegar, a little bit of sugar, fresh cracked black pepper, shallots, and that's really basically it. And we just kind of, it just pairs so well with oysters, such a classic sauce. And we always serve it with cocktail sauce as well that we make in-house. This one is with a horseradish, chili sauce and ketchup, some Tabasco, a little Worcestershire sauce, and always fresh horseradish that we serve with the oysters. Lemon wedges, and also something interesting that we do at Boulevard here that's kind of a signature is we make a shelf, we call it the Thai espuma. So espuma basically means foam in Spanish, and it's basically the flavors of Thailand. So it's faced with fish sauce, chilies, lime, sugar. So it's just another nice little condiment to enjoy with the oysters. Got a little kind of kick to it.
Oh, I love that. I was a little worried you were putting whipped cream on there too. I thought, oh no, I don't think that's going to work. But I get it. Espuma, espuma is where it's at. Espuma. Okay, that's good. Now I know exactly. It's been a tough year for a lot of oyster producers in this province. Suffering through the pandemic. Just what are you watching for? How safe is the future viability of the industry?
Hopefully everyone can survive, and I think number one is try to buy local as much as possible, just to keep the small farmers producing. And we're so lucky here in BC to have beautiful shellfish, and I think we're losing probably the export market more than anything else. But talking to suppliers and all that kind of stuff, and other farmers are saying that it's been picking up again, like exports going back to overseas. I think the American market, it's going to take some time maybe for that to stabilize again, but I think we just got to keep eating oysters and keep buying local. I think that's what we got to do.
Roger Ma, Canadian Culinary Champion 2020, Executive Chef at Boulevard Kitchen. Roger, a very happy new year to you, and you get to enjoy the oysters now. Bon appetit.
Wish you were here. Bon appetit. Thank you, Gloria. Happy New Year.
All right. How do you feel about saying goodbye to 2020?
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, pretty glad. Even though it's wet and rainy, we're still looking forward to 2021, that's for sure.
If you want to go find things to do while still observing social distancing rules, the Vancouver Hot Chocolate Festival is still going to happen later this month. Local cafes come up with their own featured drink to offer, and some of those include Parallel Coffee, Ernest Ice Cream, and Cocoa Monk chocolates. The delicious mugs of hot chocolate are going to be offered beginning January 16th. Just go to the festival website for details.
Be walking by your
Is a puppet like us? Who are you?
Pinocchio.
And the Vancouver Italian Film Festival is now online until January 21st. The festival features a new, acclaimed live-action version of Pinocchio, which was a big hit in Italy last Christmas. And anyone who buys a festival pass is going to be able to see a tribute to the late composer Ennio Morricone with a film studies lecture by Will Ross. Just go to the Vancouver International Film Festival website to buy your online tickets.
Hey, I'm Grant Lawrence from CBC Music, here to let you in on some amazing music trends that have been emerging over the last several years and have exploded over the last several months, showcasing how some Canadian musicians are breaking through and finding major success, and it all comes down to the ever-changing world of social media.
I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. And when we're bored, we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost.
That is Ruth B. from Edmonton, Alberta. Back in 2013, she started posting snippets of that original song, Lost Boy, on the now defunct social media platform Vine from her bedroom, and it went viral. Cut ahead a few years, Ruth B. got signed to Columbia Records, Lost Boy went triple platinum, and she won the 2018 Juno Award for Breakout Artist of the Year. And Ruth B.'s current single, Dirty Nikes, is climbing the CBC Music Top 20.
Found your dirty Nikes, they remind me of what I've been through.
Other Canadians who started in the bedroom posting to Vine or YouTube that have gone on to become pop superstars include Shawn Mendes, Alessia Cara, and the Biebs.
Yo, yo, Jason, this a little something, something.
Yeah, that's Lil Justin Bieber, age 9, back in 2003 at his family home in Stratford, Ontario, on a video his mom posted to YouTube. But social media success isn't just finding young Canadian artists making music in the basement before busting large, it's also impacting veteran bands.
My daddy's got a gun, my daddy's got a gun, my daddy's got a gun, you better run, my daddy's got a gun, my daddy's got a gun, my daddy's got a gun, ga 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 ga.
It started with the hay, like a creaking. Well, it started in the hay. With his long john down, pub went out creeping out to the bottom to the hay.
Going back to 2008, that's Vancouver band Mother Mother with their song Hayloft, which was popular among their fans at the time, and it was on a fairly successful indie record called Oh My Heart. But this summer and fall, all of a sudden, fans on the social media app TikTok discovered 3 songs from that 12-year-old album, and Mother Mother's world has exploded. As of last month, TikTok clips tagged with Mother Mother have been viewed more than 70 million times, and that's causing huge growth in the band's numbers across the board, and it all caught Mother Mother completely off guard. And now here's a song that went from a bedroom in BC's Fraser Valley to #1 on the Billboard Alternative chart.
I'm happy that you're here with me. I'm sorry if I tear up. When me and you were younger, you would always make me cheer up. Taking goofy videos and walking through the park, you would jump into my arms every time you heard a the bark. Cuddle in your sheets, sang me sound asleep, and sneak out through your kitchen at exactly 1:03. Sundays went to church, and Mondays watched a movie. Soon you'll be alone, sorry that you have to lose me. For too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head.
Okay, another amazing breakthrough story here. That was Powfu, aka Isaiah Faber, a 21-year-old from Mission, BC. He sampled a UK pop track and wrote and performed his original lo-fi rapping over top. He named the tune Deathbed, put it on YouTube, and the song soon crossed over to TikTok and blew up. Back on YouTube, Deathbed has since racked up 230 million views plus. Powfu is now signed to Columbia Records, and Deathbed has become a worldwide hit, going platinum and gold in several countries. Deathbed by Powfu and Hayloft by Mother Mother are the songs that you need to add to your viral playlist for this week. I'm Grant Lawrence, host of the CBC Music Top 20. Thank you very much to Jennifer Phillip for the t-shirt, and I'll check in with you again next week.
Coming up, catching up with Sarah McLaughlin, how the pandemic hasn't changed her drive to get more children into music. Hi, welcome back to Our Vancouver. I'm Gloria Makarenko. Now, just before the Christmas break, I had a chance to speak to one of our city's brightest lights. Sarah McLaughlin is known for her long list of hit songs and also for her music school for underserved and at-risk youth at no cost. Here is our conversation. We are really pleased to be able to connect today with local singer-songwriter Sarah McLaughlin. Sarah, hello there.
Hi.
Now, this can be a really loaded question in 2020, but how are you?
Yes, that is a loaded question. Right now, I am doing pretty wonderfully. My daughter is coming home from music in the next couple days, and so my family will be reunited. And yeah, it's been a really crazy year. A lot of real highs and real lows. So I'm looking forward to 2021, as I'm sure everybody else is as well.
For sure. Now, are there any particular, causes that have sort of stood out for you as important this year, things that you do want to be involved in?
I think it just the awareness and the gratitude that I feel for people who continue to go out there and do the jobs that they have to do to make everything run and work it's immense. One of the things obviously most near and dear to my heart is my School of Music, which is a nonprofit, and we rely on our donors, and we have amazing teachers and staff and wonderful kids. COVID obviously shut everything down at the beginning, and we managed to open back up in September and get these kids in-house into the school, making music together in a different way, but still doing it, I think is really important. I think it's taught us how to connect in different ways and how incredibly important it is to stay connected.
Well, but you talk about this heightened emotional state. I mean, and as a creative person, as a performer, songwriter, what's this time been like for you? I mean, how do you keep the creative juices flowing?
Well, at the beginning, I have to say I kind of shut down emotionally. I think it was so overwhelming, the uncertainty of what was going to happen to all of us. I was actually berating myself a little bit at the beginning, going, this is the time for you to write about all this stuff. You need to be, this is your job. You need to help people through this. And I was like, I can't help myself through this. I don't know what to do. I've sort of come through that, and now I've actually been, dare I say, almost prolific in writing, which has felt really, really good. So that is just sort of starting to bear fruit.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more about that. But and ultimately, I mean, you are a poet at heart. When we talk about darkness or light, what do you ultimately hope we all, collectively, I guess, take away from this experience?
I hope that we as people recognize our sameness. I think there's a big reckoning that is hopefully happening, that as humans, we need to lean on each other. We need to recognize that we're all in this together. My hope is instead of retreating, we lean into this and try and figure out ways through it together that will strengthen us.
Well said, Sarah, really. Listen, it's great to hear you're going to be with the family at Christmas. You have a wonderful season. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, Gloria. Take care.
How do you feel about saying goodbye to 2020?
Good. I hope the new year's better, but set the bar low expectations, and hopefully it knocks it out of the park.
Now, it's no secret the tourism industry has been hit extremely hard in the pandemic. Operators in BC are hoping they can hang on long enough to revamp and reopen this summer. Greg Rasmussen has their story.
We've got to be patient with this, but we're very hopeful.
Lately, it's been a road to nowhere for cycling tour guide Josh Clark. His income has fallen more than 90%, but surprisingly, he's optimistic about the future.
We're feeling positive as we move forward, and feeling that there's going to be actually an explosion of cycling this year. That's my feeling. I think come the spring and summer, we're going to be rocking.
He thinks cycling will be given a boost as people look for outdoor activities. But a full recovery for tourism depends on getting needles into people's arms.
If I do any traveling next year, it would be probably towards the fall when more people have been vaccinated.
I feel that our country needs to be a little bit smarter for a little bit longer about how we receive travelers in and how we receive our Canadians back.
And most Canadians agree. A recent study found 80% of British Columbians would not feel safe traveling to other parts of Canada. And even more, 91% say they would not welcome international visitors in their community. What's uncertain is the time frame.
It's not just vaccination within our country, it is how it is rolled out globally, So some of our key markets, how will they approach vaccination?
Canada's national tourism body says it could take up to 5 years for travel to fully come back. In this uncertain environment, operators are floating ideas. This ad targets North American motorcyclists, hoping to get them on a cruise ship. Small local operators like this depend on those big ships and their foreign passengers.
Anybody else for Hornby Street?
The return of cruise ships to Vancouver would be welcome news to those catering to foreign passengers.
Yeah, we really noticed it when the cruise ships shut down because that was the majority of the people that were coming to our business internationally. So since that has stopped, we've basically only seen, locals.
One of many companies barely afloat, awaiting brighter days. Greg Rasmussen, CBC News, Vancouver.
Coming up, what happens to the outdated oil and gas wells across BC? Well, we'll show you. You are watching Our Vancouver, and I'm Gloria Makarenko. Now, we are about to take you to places you likely wouldn't otherwise go. Many of BC's oil and gas wells are drilled on leased or private land. And when a well becomes inactive, that land needs to be restored to its initial state. Well, our Camille Vernet went to northern BC to better understand the challenges of cleaning up those sites.
Behind me is the first well that was ever drilled on our property. It's in suspension. Nobody wants sour gas anymore. They made us all these promises in the contracts that we signed and that. Well, once they're gone, they're not stewards of the land anymore. It's in somebody else's hand. And unfortunately, in this case, it's the taxpayer. And most taxpayers don't realize what's left behind, I guess.
It's important to do because if you don't do that and when any of the tanks were to fail, you could have a spill that then, of course, then you have to clean up further contamination in the soil.
This is agriculturally productive land, and so having it restored back to that is what we want to see these leases return to.
It's probably one of the most competitive markets right now in British Columbia for oil and gas. You're seeing more and more abandonment companies exist every day. Actually, I never really saw myself as an abandonment guy, but it's a good job, it's a rewarding job. You feel good about putting stuff back to bed the way that it's supposed to be.
I don't expect that even once these well sites are reclaimed that I will ever see a normal crop off of that property in the rest of my farming career.
Now, we've just learned that home sales in Vancouver surged last month for a record-setting December. This market has been hot for decades, so let's go back 40 years to this week in 1981 and the scene where hundreds of people were lining up to sign up for a course on how to sell real estate.
Take a look at this. Yet another first for British Columbia. The Real Estate Council has never seen people camping on their doorstep for 2 days to sign up for the real estate agents course. Close to 1,000 people armed with $825 checks were vying for 240 seats in the classroom. The program takes a month and it doesn't even start until May. Even the cheaper $360 4-month correspondence course is booked until October. Housing prices were up 37% last year. They start at $110,000 in Vancouver's working-class East End, and the high-priced stuff in wealthy neighborhoods like Shaughnessy go for $500,000 and up, way up. The demand is incredible despite high mortgage rates. 1,000 people a week are moving to the coast, and there's a shortage. No one is building because of the interest rates. So, time is money when you have a hot market. Do you think it's going to be easy money in real estate?
Yeah, it is. I have a degree in biology, and I've been in that for 3 years, and I figure it's time for something new.
I enjoy people. I'd like to get involved in something that pays more money, certainly.
I was a counselor in a prison for about 10 years.
What made you want to go into this?
The convicts said, you're crazy to work here, so go sell real estate, get rich.
Agents already in the business are not crazy about this lineup. However, when people are gobbling up expensive homes as soon as they hit the listings, well, it's just too tempting not to give sales a try. Sue Stern, CBC News, Vancouver.
CBC Vancouver is so lucky to have award-winning photographer Ben Nelms on staff. Here are a few images of the week we had, captured in only the way Ben can. And that's all for our Vancouver for this week. I do hope you can join me weekday afternoons on CBC Radio 1 for On the Coast. For now, bye-bye.